Greetings, what's going on, guys? Unoptimized Fool here from the office. What's going on? Obviously, today we're going to talk about World of Warcraft. I want to actually focus on talking about Legion Remix. So obviously, we know it's dropping in 11.2.5, right? And it's going to be hopefully a blast, right? But I have some concerns because I've seen a lot of community feedback. Again, this is not everyone saying this. I'm seeing some things that might be a little bit different, but there is a silver lining at the end, right? I've seen a lot of community feedback where they say that the power gain, right? So look at, for example, Mop Remix. We had that crazy power gain where we just kind of snowballed into basically absolutely destroying things, right? And again, I know that Mop, was a lot, had less power than like Legion, because obviously we had artifact power. But a lot of people are saying that that doesn't really exist in the current Legion ecosystem, right? Obviously, it's on the PTR, it's not live, right? But they weren't experiencing that. It was kind of like Legion, but maybe a little bit more power. Again, it wasn't like Mop levels, right? And I think for a Legion remix, or any remix really, it should have this increased power, it snowballs. I think that's great, because again, it's supposed to be this kind of like speed run of the expansion, right? Again, but thankfully, though, right, this isn't a bad story. Thankfully, Blizzard is listening, right? They did put out a community note, a blue post here that says, I'm going to read it here, it's from Linksy. It says, "Greeting testers. A big thanks to everyone who has taken time to try out Legion Remix on the PTR. Based on your feedback, starting next week, which this was posted on the 27th of August, so again, this is happening currently as we speak, we'll be extending our PTR test for an additional week and deploying major improvements with the goal of adding speed, power, and fun to the mode. More details to come." Again, those details have not yet come. They also keep on saying, "The Legion Remix PTR event will end with today's build in order to test our character conversion process, but will return next Tuesday," which is already out, because again, today is Wednesday, so this is out already, "for the additional week of testing. If you don't want your character to be converted, blah blah blah," right? That doesn't really matter for this video. So, obviously, Blizzard sees the feedback, and they're seeing that obviously we need to increase the speed, the power, and fun, right? Obviously, this has to be fun. I mean, this really determines, if we have a flop of a remix, it could be the end of remixes, right? I mean, we're kind of seeing an end to Plunderstorm, right? I mean, they said they have no, uh, decision to make a third Plunderstorm, by the way, if you didn't know that already. But yeah, again, I think it should be fast. Obviously, you have now these new achievements for the mounts for each class to get to max level. It's like a fell version of the mounts, which are pretty cool, but you have to level all the classes, right? And that's a lot of time. And again, you have Season 3 currently going on. You have then Housing coming out 11.2.7. There's a lot of content coming up here in Midnight, right? So obviously we have to have enough time to work on this stuff. So I'm glad that they're listening, right? Usually what Blizzard does is they release any sort of content, and then they start listening, and then they give feedback. Obviously, this is the perfect example of a PTR actually working, right? You have them release this content to the PTR, then you have feedback. And obviously, I think there was so much negative feedback. So again, you want these to be fast. I 100% agree. You don't want remixes to be slow. They're supposed to be very fast. Just compare it to Mop, right? You want that to be the exact same experience. Obviously, now we have the artifact weapons, which, if I could argue this, they would probably increase the amount of power we have. But yeah, I just wanted to voice I'm a little bit nervous now about Legion Remix. They're saying that they can fix it, right? They're gonna increase the speed, the power, and the fun. I haven't heard anything yet. Obviously, we're in the second day of that new testing. Hopefully, that's in there right now. But I just wanted to say, hold, and hopefully, again, if you go to the PTR, give as much information as you can, as much feedback as you can. Because, again, this feedback does help. Like, they are listening, right? They say they're listening. Hopefully, they actually do listen, right? But yeah, guys, I am an Unoptimized Fool. I definitely want to hear your opinion about this. Are you a little bit nervous now since we know this information? Or do you think everything will be fine and Blizzard is just correcting? And hopefully, this is a big W for Blizzard. But again, thank you for listening on in. I am Unoptimized Fool. I'll see you guys in the next one.